Welcome to Soccer As We Like It, the channel for football fans. We are international break currently, and we decided to talk about some topics about some international football. One of the most important football topics we want to talk was what has happened to one of the greatest soccer nations, football nations around the world, known as Brazil. The team with the samba beat, the beautiful women, the beautiful football. They played with the beat and have still the greatest player of all time, Pele, in the midst. What has transcended from then to today's Brazilian footballers who don't seem to have the backbone or even know what is going on? They seem to get knocked out so easily, and all they do is sit on the pitch and cry and get their likes and on the social media. Joining me today, and we're still going to hopefully get some more people coming on. We're going to talk about the fall and collapse of Brazilian football. Joining me today is the analyst Vim. Vim, your take. How are you, mate?
Hey Tim, yeah, how you doing?
I'm all right, mate.
Um,
I'm all right.
yeah, my take on this. Yeah,
When
well,
when you were
look at
growing up, when you were
yeah.
growing up, what was the team that you were all growing up was all looking up to? I know I wasn't looking up to England.
Well,
I
I
know
I
that for a
remember
fact.
my first World Cup that I watched was Mexico '86, and I had
Ooh,
the Panini
yeah.
sticker album as well.
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
and there were some amazing players back then. There was Michel Platini. There were several
Yes.
Brazilian players.
Yes. Romaro,
It's
Bebeto. Yep.
yeah.
That combo.
So that was my first exposure to international football, and I don't remember who won it. I'll check for you
86
actually.
was won by Germany.
Germany. Okay.
Yeah.
Not
No,
the
no,
team
no,
that I
no,
would have gone for.
Argentina. Argentina beat Germany in final
Argentina. Okay.
3-2. Maradona helped that
Yeah.
win that World Cup.
Yeah. So in terms of, the teams in Latin America, Brazil have been probably the standout team, one of the greats.
Yes.
And,
Yes.
you look at the poster behind me and, reel off some of the players there. You've got the
Oh,
Kaka's missing from this one,
this
but
was
he's brilliant.
2002.
Two.
This was the
Yeah.
2002 World Cup. I can see Rivaldo. I see
Yeah.
Juninho. I see Roberto Carlos. I
Yes.
see Ronaldo. I see Ronaldinho. So
Yes.
that team won that World Cup and I see Cafu. They won the World
Yeah.
Cup in 2002, beating Germany 2-0.
Yeah. Great
Since
team.
then, oh,
Well, that's it. They don't seem to produce the stars like they used to back in the
no.
day. I don't know what it is. Is it um I mean football is played everywhere, right? They play
Yes.
beach football, everyone's
Yes.
barefoot.
Yeah.
But what is it? Is it the money that spoil the players and the desire's
It's
not
the
there?
from all indications from the research I've done, it seems you know what there's something called the brain drain, but
Brain
in
drain.
football now, you know whereby some of these developed countries go and
Yeah.
take the best
Oh,
professionals, the
I
best
see.
surgeons
Yeah.
from these developing countries. It
Yeah.
seems they're going in there, taking this young 15-year-old talented star. Thank you very much. Here you go, brown envelope. This is what we'll
Mm.
pay. Europe becomes a big star there. So when you're constantly picking and picking and picking and picking, that league starts to lose its way somewhere.
Yeah.
So all the talent
Yeah.
is being pulled out,
You're
you
right
know?
there. You're right there. They do ship off to other leagues around the world.
Yep,
So
yep.
but then it makes you wonder, why don't they still produce talent? And I don't know in 2002 whether the Brazilian Football League, domestic league, was good, and whether these guys, you know, ch wanted to stay there or not. I'm pretty sure that most of them were shipped off to Barcelona.
Oh yeah,
Ronaldo went
100%.
to Real Madrid, so they still were being shipped out. But what is it about that league? Why don't they produce, these amazing players like they did in the past? I don't
They
know. It's
still
it's
do. I
baffling.
think they still do. It's just that
Mm,
these European clubs have so much scouting in South America now that if I looked at an analysis, someone said I saw a BBC clip saying
mm.
Premier League is one of the best in the world. But if you take away all the foreign players out of the Premier League, it won't be the league it currently is.
Yeah.
And it's so true. I looked at it like, you know what? If it was all English, so whereby UK, English, Scottish, and Irish, I don't think the level would be that high. I'm being honest. You know what it is?
Hmm.
But look at the players that have come through the years. The Cantonars, the Clint, remember Klinsmann, Jorgen Klinsmann
Yeah,
played for
great
Spurs.
player. Yeah,
Yeah.
Michel Platini. I mean, what a stand-up player
Oh,
he was.
the players who came to the EPL. Juninho
Yeah.
came. There was that guy who played for Middlesbrough. Ravanelli? Was it Ravanelli? No, he was Italian. He was
Ravanelli,
Italian.
not ravioli.
But the foreigners, they made a
Yeah,
big impact in English in Premier League football.
right.
So, it has made the Premier League where it is today. But
Yeah.
without the influx of those players who are being
Hmm.
tapped from their countries, look at every top player who's come out from Brazil:
Yeah,
Ronaldo,
yeah,
Rivaldo,
yeah,
Ronaldinho, Roberto Carlos,
yeah. Roberto
Marcelo.
Carlos was
They
an
all
amazing
played
player.
and started in Brazil.
Yeah,
They
but
didn't.
even
They didn't start. They
before
were
that,
all born in Brazil,
yeah,
and
but
they
even
were.
before that,
Mm.
do you remember Zico?
Oh, Zico was the man in the 80s. He
Yeah,
was the man, mate.
yeah,
Absolutely phenomenal. That guy was. He was
yeah,
phenomenal. Zico. Nah,
amazing.
that guy was on another level. He was
Yeah,
the next best thing to Pele. Zico. Oh
yes.
man,
I
he
remember
was
being in
phenomenal.
school and everyone used to just talk about
Zico.
Zeke all the time.
No, he
So,
was on another level,
yeah,
mate.
and but Pele was before our time. I mean, I would love to have
Yes,
watched him play.
yes, yes, yes.
Um,
Pele, youngest player to ever play 1958, 1962 World Cup,
yeah,
and 1970 he retired after he
right.
won three World Cups. Three World
So
Cups.
58, 62, 70, and then
Yeah,
they then
quick.
again won it in 1994 and 2002. And 2002 is
Yes,
a team behind me,
yes. That's the
and that's it.
2002, and
Never
that's the
since.
last time they lifted the World Cup, which is
Mm,
22 years ago. So that's
that's
how
a
many
long
World
time.
Cups ago? Which about five
What
World
is it?
Cups
Every
ago?
four
Yeah.
years.
So 2006, 2010, 2014, 2018, 2022. Five
Mm,
World Cups ago, they have not gone beyond the quarterfinals.
that's terrible, eh?
It
Just
is
as bad as
terrible.
it, just as bad as England then.
At least they could say we have five.
Yeah, yeah,
England could say we have one.
none.
You see what I mean?
Well,
So
one, yeah, one.
exactly. So, but it's like, what
No,
happened to all the
I don't
flair, the
know.
samba beating, the beautiful football? They're producing prima donnas literally now. Do you remember we signed the
Mm,
Brazilian player called Kleberson back in the day? He signed on the same day Ronaldo.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I do remember Cleberson. Was he any
Ah,
good?
oh God, the guy
Probably
was a
not.
it was a mess.
We've had a we've had a few Brazilians as well. The two brothers,
Uh, uh,
Rafael and was it
they were not entirely the
Fabio?
most skilled.
No, but then we also had Fred and now Casemiro. I mean, definitely not,
Exactly.
the old Brazil stock that we expected from the past.
Exactly
But
my point.
yeah, and I think Fred made the national team, didn't he, at some
Yeah,
some
he played for
stage?
them. He played in the Copa America a few times where they
Yeah,
also fumbled a few times.
yeah.
It's like they've just gone backwards, but you can't blame them. And my friend came to an analysis. He said, you take these guys who were groomed to play the beautiful samba football, the dribbling, the skill, they were born entertainers, ball
Mm,
jugglers. You take them to a more fragmented system whereby, nah, mate, all this ain't gonna. There's no time to be doing all that dilly dallying on the wall, on the floor, on the field. You need to move this ball. So those talent is now suppressed. They're now
mm,
playing these fragmented systems. When they now meet for the national team, what system are we playing now? They've been stuck in a
mm.
European system. They came from a samba system. Now you tell them to turn on and play the samba system that they've not played in daily every week.
Yeah.
So they're just fragmented. Now the European teams are so much better than Brazil because half the players in the Brazilian team play in Europe.
Right.
So that's where the problem starts. The European teams,
So they've
because
lost their
back in
identity.
they've lost. You hit it on the nail. You hit the nail on the head. They've lost their identity. There's nothing special about Brazil anymore. When them
No.
Zico played in a team with Socrates in
Oh yeah.
1982. I watched that game as a kid,
Hmm.
and that was the first time the World Cup format was so stupid. It was the worst format they could ever. They never done that format. You had a group of four teams in a group stage, then you picked one team from out to and make it to another group stage of three, and one person going to come out that group of three, which doesn't make any sense.
Mm.
Brazil were put in the group with Scotland, New Zealand, and Russia. Destroyed all of them. The next day they had to play Argentina, a young
Mm.
Maradona. He was
Yeah.
his second World Cup. Maradona and a very fragmented, crazy Italian team.
Mm.
who had a guy who was suspended called Paulo Rossi. He came
I
back from a
remember him. Great
he's
defender.
got he was a striker, but
Oh, was he?
he came back
Oh,
from
sorry,
a
I'm thinking Maldini. Yeah.
no, he came back from a scandal, a bribe
Oh
scandal. So
dear.
he was banned, but his ban ended 2 weeks before a week before the Brazil game.
Right.
So Brazil needed to draw. Italy needed to win. That game, Paulo Rossi scored a hat trick. The world could not understand how Brazil lost that game. A game that they called that Brazil team 1980 was the best Brazilian team ever not to win a World Cup till this day.
Do you remember this?
Yeah,
Wow,
I
you've
got
got a
all the
great
posters on my
memory.
wall when I was a kid.
Jeez,
They were the
that's.
best World Cup team that never won. They went on a European tour.
Mhm.
28 European teams. They beat every single one on the preparation for that World Cup.
Mm.
They destroyed everybody because of the football. Because, like I said, the football was different.
Mhm.
It wasn't like what we see today.
Yeah,
But now everyone's like, they've lost their way completely. Literally
yeah. So
lost
it's
their
probably
way.
because they're now, like you say, they're trying to play that European football
Yep,
with
yep,
their European uh, stars who have been shipped out and all
yep,
learning the European ways. So
yeah,
they've lost that Samba style of football
completely.
and
It's nothing
which won them
special.
so many titles.
Yeah,
So maybe that's what they need to go back to. Get a coach who
it
can.
would
I
need
think
them to
it's
be more homegrown players than the
yeah.
European players. But they don't make money. The biggest team in Brazil is Flamengo. They they're like the Man United of the Brazilian league, the most famous. Everyone knows Flamengo. That's where players like Zico, Socrates all emitted from.
Mhm.
You know? But the league is
So
being hit so hard.
so these guys behind me, right, especially that front row, right? Most of them
Mm.
did go to European
Oh,
clubs.
100%. They were
So
picked out.
yeah, but they're playing tiki taka.
Oh,
It
100%.
seems obviously Ronaldinho had amazing skills,
Oh,
but then they go
yeah.
back to the Brazilian team and then they're playing samba football, you say,
Yes.
even though they're
Up
playing for
to that
European clubs.
point.
So
Up
they
to
were
that
up,
point.
still able to play the samba
Yes.
style of football, even
Yes.
though they were shipped out to European clubs. So
Yes.
how did they manage to do it then, but they can't do it now?
Because the talent, that's another big question. Because the talents these guys had coming from Brazil, they never lost it.
Right.
Even in the European teams, think about it, most of those guys played in Barcelona and Real Madrid. They were allowed to express and
Hmm.
keep that samba football. And so what happened was the teams played around the samba football, not the samba being played into the team. The team played, integrated their game into those players' strengths.
Yeah.
Now it's like, you need to adapt to this. We are not adapting to you. You need to change your game to us. That's where the
Yeah.
problem is now. You know?
Oh my God, it was Luis Felipe Scolari as well, who was the Brazil
Yes.
coach, 2002.
Yep.
And then
Yep.
they reinstated him, but then he flopped, didn't he?
Oh, 2014,
Yeah.
when they got hammered 7-1.
Yeah. And so he was not able to bring that magic back, even though it was the
No,
same coach that won it in
no,
2002.
no. It could
So it's
not.
I think it's that front line. That front line is just full of talent.
Too
Yeah, I
much
mean, even some of
talent.
the guys at the back,
Too
yeah.
much
But
talent. They had too
yeah.
much talent going forward.
So
I mean, this was the last.
yeah,
Picture come up.
yeah.
This was the
So
last.
okay.
This was the last lineup of Pele in the 1970 World Cup final when they beat Italy 4-1. Pele, if you look
Oh,
close,
there he is at
Pele's
the
is
end.
yeah,
Yeah.
is that end there. That was his last World Cup, his last World Cup appearance, and they went out beating Italy 4-1. This team
Wow.
was on another level. All of them
Yeah.
were homegrown, as in they all played in Brazil.
Yeah. Look at the boots.
You
It's
look at the
like,
boots.
are they Team Mondale, Adidas, and Puma? That's it.
And that's some Puma. There was no Nike then. Remember, Nike did not
Yeah.
come into into the 80s. I think Nike came on 80s or 90s. It was Adidas
Yeah.
and Puma. And remember, Adidas and Puma are made by the same family. It's two brothers who did not get on. So they split the company in two. You take this
Oh.
side, it's two brothers who own the two companies. The same
Which
family.
company? Oh, yeah, of course. That was Adidas and Puma. Yeah, the
Yeah,
German brothers, they split.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
It was so the hatred they had was so bad. They were buried in the same cemetery, but so far apart from each other in the cemetery. That was their wish. Because of the hatred they had for each other. It's like, what the hell?
Yeah,
These guys on another level. But it is it's funny how these guys, when you saw that golden shirt, you just felt these guys, they're gonna win. They
yeah,
came with the confidence. If you scored four, we scored five. They didn't care. But
yeah.
now they get knocked out on penalty shootouts. They get beaten by Croatia. These were teams that couldn't even hold a candle to them back in the day.
I remember, when City um tried to sign the big stars back in the day. This is before Pep. I
Yes,
think
there was
Mark
a
Hughes was
guy.
manager.
What's his name?
Robinho, and I think they
Robinho.
paid, yeah,
Yes.
they paid a lot of money to bring him to Man City, but it was
Yes.
a bit of a flop. And
It
then he was
was a
also in
flop,
the
mate.
national team. And it's like
Yes.
now they're trying to pin their hopes on like a star. They're trying to do it with
Yes.
Neymar, and
Yeah,
Neymar
that
had,
was too much for him.
yeah, and then Neymar kind of enjoyed the party life, I guess, too much, and he really wasn't dedicated. But
Mm,
um, I think it's the way like we were pinning our hopes on Rooney or Michael Owen or Beckham.
mm, mm.
They pin their hopes on one player, whereas
Too much.
this team full of talent.
Yep.
So
Too much. It's sad how they have um lost their way completely. I mean, you can't rely so much on Neymar. Neymar can, and he got so injury prone. It just became like,
yeah,
you know, he's done. So
the thing is
now,
though,
who's the new
if you
hero?
have a
The guy
if
from
you
Real
have a
Madrid's the new
wild
hero.
if you have a wild party life, you are going to get injured
He
because
was
you
on
put your
another
body
level.
through a lot of toxin into your body, and then you're
Oh yeah.
expected to play high level football. It's just
No,
not
it
going to
don't work
work.
like that. This is one thing
Yeah,
they don't get. It does not
yeah,
work like that. They don't get it. But
mm,
this is how footballers of today. They
mm,
believe, you know, it's just a magic wand. You just work one day and no, mate.
yeah.
To be at the highest level, you have to be your body has to be at that level. When Ronaldo doesn't drink alcohol, people laugh, oh, why is he not drinking alcohol? Who does he
Oh,
think he
mate,
is?
he looks after himself, huh?
When that guy
There
scored goal
were
number 900, I was like, this
there
guy's
was
crazy.
I saw something. I mean, it's interesting to talk about Portugal, right? Because you look at that team now, full of stars. Most of their players are at top clubs all around Europe.
Yep.
And when I saw that Portugal team in the Euros, I thought, wow, so much talent. From the keeper, Diego Costa, brilliant keeper.
Hmm.
Ruben Diaz in defense. Then you've got Bruno Fernandes and the other chap from City. What's his name again?
I know who you mean. I know who you mean. I know who you mean.
Yeah, and just so much talent. And then obviously Ronaldo there, Diego Dalot had a good game. I mean, there's just so much talent. You'd think that's like the Brazil of today, full of talent. But
This
even they
was the
were not able to pull it
1980. This
off.
was the 1982 team that had everything from the goal. The weakest link was the goalkeeper,
Yeah,
Valder Perez. He was an absolute clamp.
right.
But if he conceded two goals, their mindset will get three.
Can you name any of these players
Yes. The
from
guy
from
on
the
the
keeper, from the
from the
top?
keeper,
Yeah,
Leandro.
right.
That next to him, in front of him, the captain on the front wearing the white armband is Socrates. He was a medical doctor
That's
by profession.
Socrates.
Yes, he's
It looks
passed away
different. It
now.
looks different there.
Yes. You have Zico in the front row, second from the right. Zico's on the kneeling. Beside
Yeah,
him is a guy called Juninho. He was
Janini, I
a good
remember him.
striker, but he
Yeah.
wasn't. He was a kind of Lukaku with skills. He was a
Oh,
Lukaku with
okay.
skills. He was someone they
Yeah.
used for the physical work.
Uh-huh.
Then at the back was on the back right, you had his name Junior. He was
Junior.
a ball carrying defender. He would
Mm.
dribble like an attacker
Hmm.
and be able to spread back. He has Zico in the front. Next to Zico on Zico's left is Eder. He played on the
Ed
left
there,
wing.
I remember him. Yeah.
Oh man, that guy's left foot shot
The
was on. If
chap
you
in the middle at the back. Who is he? He
which
looks
one?
familiar. I can't remember his name. Him.
In the middle there, Falcao.
Ah, Falcao. That's it.
He
Yeah.
was the goal he scored against Italy for the equalizer to make the game 2-2.
Yeah.
A goal you could like the way he split that defense to the left and the right arm. finished the shot. Brazil at that point were through. But Brazil don't do draws. We do
No,
wins.
yeah.
They didn't manage it. Italy got the only one corner kick in that game. One corner kick gave them the
Mhm.
first goal. It shows how much they were pressed back. So Italy just did counterattack. So they did.
Mm,
We just sit back, press, but we get once they made the mistake, they were punished. That was all it was.
mm,
That was all that Italy did, and they won the World Cup. That's what
mm.
it took. You know what I mean? But they
Yeah,
said this team was the best Brazilian team that never won the World Cup.
this one.
This World Cup, this team here, because they were
Wow.
so complete. To go on a whole European tour, 21 nations, and beat every single country you played against
Who's
in
the
preparation.
is it coach in the front row in the white t-shirt?
I don't know who he is. I don't know who he
Okay.
is.
Yeah.
I wanted to get a guy called Rodrigo come on. He knows this to the core.
Right.
He has met some of these players, but
I
I could not get it. The Chelsea guy, remember him?
yeah, I messaged one of my friends as well who's Brazilian, played football with him, and I
Oh,
said, "Do you want to come on?" And he says, "No, I don't want to talk about Brazilian football." So it's
oh.
almost a shame. They
It,
just
it is,
they kind of disconnect from
bro.
it.
Of course, because after that 7-1 thumping they received um, from Germany, I
Yeah.
think that was the total collapse. Like, and they
It's
were at
embarrassing.
home. They were at home.
Yeah.
It was in Brazil. They said some
Yeah.
of
It's
those
so
players to
embarrassing.
today are still receiving treatment, psychological treatment.
Wasn't Thiago Silva in that team?
It's 2014. 2014. It
I
probably
remember they
was.
had a really, I mean, he's a good defender, but I just remember there was,
What's his name was injured the game before Neymar, so he was missing. This guy was there. David Luiz was the captain.
oh my God, that player,
Yeah,
that guy is
he was the
so
great.
dangerous. I never rated that guy. He
I
was
never read that.
never a
So you see,
defender for
that was
me.
the quality they had, mate. That was the
David
quality they had.
Luiz, he's a liability, man.
He was a liability. He played for Chelsea. He was a liability, mate.
But the amount of
But
players that he injures as well, he's,
yeah,
I mean,
he
he
was a
smashed,
dirty player. He was very dirty.
yeah, I didn't like him at all. Never, not a good defender. Definitely not. I don't know why
No,
Chelsea bought him.
but hey, he's Brazilian.
Dangerous.
Remember, he's Brazilian.
Yeah,
That
but
you see,
Brazilians are not about defense, are they? I mean, Thiago
no.
Silva's a good defense, but Brazilians are about flair and creativity and attacking
Okay, so
football.
this is the team that went to the '86 World Cup that you watched for the first time. This was them. I
Yeah,
found the one that had all the names there.
right.
On
Edinho,
some
Carlos.
came from the '82 squad, some of them, but some of them had started to age. Zico and Socrates had started to age at that time, and they were not what they were, and they got knocked out by France on
Yeah.
penalties. Zico even missed his penalty.
Oh
He missed
dear.
the penalty during the game. We should have won the game for them.
Right.
But they were at this point they were losing. They was really trying to hang on from the '82 squad, which was so good, to
Hmm.
'86, and it didn't work out. That's all I found one with all the names on the sheet on the
Mm.
front. They had a
That's
better
good.
goalkeeper. They had a better goalkeeper, but
Carlos.
Carlos. But nah, it still did not.
No,
At
what's
this
his
time, they were still
no
playing in. They were
quote.
still playing at home. They were still playing at home.
Yeah.
Most of them were still in Brazil.
Right. Which
So yeah,
helps a lot.
it does help a lot. I mean,
Yeah.
the team that went to so when in 1986, then in 1990, I have a list of. So I'm going to quickly run a list of where they were finishing because they were. It was an absolute mess, mate. I've been here. Okay. Hey, I can read that.
This Brazilian friend of mine, he's just does not want to come on. He goes, "No, I'm working till 10 p.m. I have to take a shower, have dinner, have tomorrow morning. I've got to go to the office. My broadband isn't working." He said he refuses to speak about Brazilian football in English or Portuguese. Just
What the
no,
hell? This must be really
nada.
bad. I get it, mate. It's been a tumultuous ride for a lot of Brazilian fans. Um, Brazil have really suffered a lot
Yeah,
in terms of humiliation. So now the top team in South America, as we all know, is Argentina, who've always been in the
yeah.
shadows, you know. So
Well,
In
they're actually. I've got a table here. The countries with the most World Cups. So Brazil obviously is five.
mm,
Germany is in fourth.
mm.
Italy fourth. Argentina third. So they're all catching up. Uruguay has two.
Uruguay has two. In
France has two.
1950, France has two. Is it two or three now?
France has two.
98 and 2016,
The one with Zidane,
2018,
right? With
2018,
Zidane was in that team.
2018.
Yeah,
No, they
Pogba was
won the
there.
98 one. Remember 98 whereby Ronaldo had the epileptic fit before the game, so he didn't play that
Oh,
final.
yes, I remember that. Yeah. So yeah, Germany, Italy are right on the tails of Brazil. One
Yeah,
more, and they've caught up.
there you go.
Yeah. So
So
my
that's
friend Luis, he said, I asked him, "Do you think Brazil will ever regain uh, that Brazilian type of play?" And he goes, "No, they are trying to play as Europeans, not Brazilian football."
there
So
was
you said it. That's
that's
what it
there you
is.
go. So you see, so I have a list here. So okay, so in 1982 they 1982, they got to round two, which was the second round I told you. 86, they got to quarterfinals. 1990, they got to round of 16.
Mm,
1994, in USA, they won the tournament, beating Italy on penalties.
right.
I remember that one in 94. Um, that's where they had Romario and Bebeto as the strikers in 94.
Uh-huh.
That was the fourth World Cup. They couldn't defend. They got to the final in 98 to defend it. They lost to France to a Zidane-led spectacular team and lost 3-0. To this day, people say that was a conspiracy to have
Right.
Ronaldo fall
Having a
sick
fit.
the day
Well,
before.
I wouldn't be surprised, FIFA is pretty corrupt as it is.
And
Uh,
Platini, you remember his confession? He said they made sure the two teams did not meet before the final.
right.
So they separated them in a way whereby they were never going to meet, but they're going to be
Yeah.
on opposite sides of the
I
draws.
think FIFA's capable of a lot of things. I think we spoke about it before, but I think the way Argentina won that World Cup as well, the way who was it they played France, right?
Yes.
And France had SARS or something like that.
Yeah.
As soon as they beat England, they all became sick.
Yeah.
It was like there was a virus suddenly in their camp.
Yep.
The
Yep.
day after they beat England, and for a
Mm.
whole week they
Yeah.
were
Most of the players were down.
unwell. Yeah, and SARS being a respiratory virus is going to affect your ability to run, and they were
Oh yeah.
tired and weak.
Yep.
I mean, that was really suspicious
Oh, yeah.
for me, that the
I
way they
won't be
became
surprised.
ill. Yeah.
So,
So, and Messi is the golden boy, isn't he, for
oh yeah,
FIFA?
100%. We've had it out. So Brazil have they won the last World Cup in 2002 with the team you have behind you. They beat England. I remember watching that game. Beckham wasn't 100% fit. I remember that second goal whereby Beckham was about to get the tackle, and these two Brazilians were coming towards him. He just jumped away from the tackle, not injured
Right.
himself. And they took the
Yeah.
ball. Ronaldinho just ran through England midfield, placed it,
Yeah.
and Rivaldo was there. They had Rivaldo,
Mm,
Ronaldo, and Ronaldinho. Then three,
mm, hmm
it was a
Well, yeah,
wrap,
he
mate.
was one of the best strikers in the world, wasn't he?
They were magical. They were
Still
all
is, isn't he? I
magicians,
mean,
still
I don't think
magicians.
anyone's beaten his record in terms of World Cup. I mean, the guy was scoring goals left, right, and center.
Yes. He won the Golden Boot for that World Cup in
Yeah.
2002. He won the Golden Boot. So
So
they did well. They
they
did
did
well.
well. So Luis says, in his opinion, the better Brazilian players are playing as Brazilians.
There you go.
Yeah, not Europeans. They're playing as Brazilians.
There you go.
So
So
that's what's going to have to happen,
or
right? Coach is going to have to.
is it the clubs forcing them to play like Europeans? You see, like I said before, the teams adapted to the samba flair. Now
Yeah,
they have to change the samba flair to European flair. So in
it's difficult.
2002, it is difficult, of course.
Yeah, because club football really drives a player's career.
Yeah, it's every week
And
now, mate. It's
if
every
if
week.
you start playing European style of football, for the whole season, you can't just switch it up and play, a Brazilian type of football just for the
Nope.
summer.
No.
It's too
You're right.
difficult.
You're right. It can't. It's not possible. It's not sustainable. It's not possible at all. So they have to play what the clubs want them to play. Okay. Remember, we had a Brazilian Anderson. Remember Anderson?
Yes, he was
He was
supposed to
supposed to be an
be
attacking
touted
mid.
as yeah, but wasn't he like some wonder kid when we bought him?
Yes,
But
he was an attacking mid. Man United
yeah,
deployed him as a defensive mid.
mm, waste, waste.
Waste,
I don't think we ever got
waste.
the best out of him.
No, no. He's a good
Yeah.
penalty taker. That's what he did. He took a penalty in the Champions League final in 2008 against
Mm,
Chelsea. He took a very good penalty, scored.
mm,
So in 2002, they won that cup with the team behind you. They beat Germany 2-0. Ronaldo getting both goals. They went to the next World Cup, lost in the quarterfinals. Went to the next World Cup, 2010, lost in the quarterfinals. 2014, they were now hosting the World Cup. So everyone thought this is coming home. That's
mm.
when Germany humiliated them 7-1.
Wow.
7-1.
I remember that. I do remember that.
It was a shock.
They were just looking at each other, thinking, "What
Yeah,
is going on?"
they couldn't figure out like
Yeah.
what the
But
F.
it's like they'd given up at some stage. They were so confused as to what was going. They just had no structure to the team. They'd almost just thrown in the towel, and they're just allowing the goals to ship through. They couldn't do anything to stop it.
No, they couldn't do anything. It was a mess, mate.
Yeah,
Absolute mess.
yeah,
7-1 at home. People were
mm,
crying and going home. They said
yeah.
the economy stopped for a whole week. People didn't go to work. That is how
Really?
bad. Yeah. People were so hurt. The
Yeah.
economy suffered because people didn't go to work.
Oh
They could
dear.
not comprehend how this was possible.
That's shocking, eh?
It's
2014, and
nothing.
that's David Luiz there, right?
That's him.
Yeah. Who's the other defender there?
Marcelo. Remember
Marcelo.
Marcelo from Real
Yes,
Madrid?
yeah, he's actually quite good, but
He's good, but he
the
was in a
system
very
doesn't
poor
work.
team.
Yeah,
They
really
didn't know
bad
what they were
team.
doing. They didn't know what they were doing.
Yeah,
They were just destroyed by Germany. It was 6-0 in first half.
that's
Even
awful, man.
the Germans said they had to tell the players to ease off now, ease off.
Yeah.
The players said they wanted to hit
Oh my
10.
God, guess who the captain was?
Oh,
Casemiro.
no fucking
Yes.
way.
Yeah. And it was a Luis Felipe Scolari team as well.
Yeah.
So
And
Danny Alves was in that team.
yeah,
Thiago Silva was in that team.
there you go. You're right.
David Luiz, Fernandinho.
He
Was
got
it?
sent off.
Yeah.
David Luiz got sent off. So they're playing
Well,
10 men.
he should always get sent. It was terrible. Marcelo
You
was in that
are,
team. Yeah. Hulk was in that team. Remember
yeah,
Hulk?
yeah, I remember the Hulk.
Yeah. Paulinho.
Overrated. Oh,
Paulinho from Spurs. Oh
yeah,
my word. Fred. Not
yeah.
our Fred. A
They
Fred
had another
forward.
Fred, yes.
Fluminense.
Fluminense.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Neymar was obviously sick. Oscar. Do
yeah,
you remember Oscar? Played for Chelsea.
yes,
He was quite
yeah.
good.
Yeah, Oscar was good at one
Yeah.
time. Then they shipped him
Yeah.
off. He was a young
Yeah.
guy, a young player.
Julio Cesar. Dante.
Uh, I don't remember Dante.
Dante from Bayern Munich. Defender.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Another chap called Maxwell from PSG. Enrique Luis Gustavo. Okay, so yeah. Maicon. Remember Maicon?
Yes, yes,
Roma.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they seem to have an okay team, but
They had an okay team.
it's
They just
bizarre.
were playing, they were trying to be European. That's the problem. They were trying to be
Yeah.
European. You can't do that, mate.
No,
And
it's
this is what
terrible.
we see every tournament. This is what we see every tournament. This players just
Oh
crying.
God.
It's
Anthony.
just pathetic, you know.
That's
Another defeat.
Rodrigo.
Yeah, that's Anthony right there. This was the last World Cup. That's
Yeah.
Anthony.
Crying.
Yeah, because they are not good enough anymore. I mean, you could look at Anthony now. Look at the state of him now, playing for Man United.
Hmm.
He can't even dribble a player now. He can't even do that.
Yeah. Actually, I
Yeah.
could be wrong about Casemiro. Or is he the current captain? of Brazil.
I
I
think
don't
we
think he
proved
was
that,
in
mate.
that 2014 team. I'm not entirely sure. He should have been.
2014,
It
yeah, he
says
was
it
playing. He
says
was
he's
playing
the
for. He
he's the
was playing for Real
captain.
Madrid. He was playing for Real Madrid at
Yeah,
the
so
time.
he would have been in that team then.
Yeah, as a
Right. Well,
defensive
Brazil.
midfielder, and he was a
Yeah.
mess. And he was still. That was prime Casimiro.
Mhm.
He was in his 20s. So how
Yeah.
the f did that all go wrong there, mate?
Oh my gosh, Philip Coutinho as well.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they had
Liverpool.
a good team, but just look how they were ripped to shreds in Brazil, bro. In
Yeah,
Brazil. That wasn't
shameful.
that was shameful, mate. A lot of
Yeah,
people, they never recovered from that.
yeah.
You know, that's the reality. That's the reality.
Oh,
That's the
Leeds
reality.
player, Rafinha.
Oh yeah, yeah.
He's a
You're
good
putting
player.
them all out. That's good, mate. That's it. That's
Yeah.
so you see, all these players all play in Europe. How are they supposed to come together in such a short time and produce Samba football that they were playing as kids? It's not
Mm.
possible. And every
No.
week they're playing fragmented European football. It's
Right.
impossible. The only way Brazil could get back to where they're supposed to be is will now have to keep selecting homegrown players and forget these ones abroad. Even though you need the star powers, but you need them to play against European teams because they know the taxes, but you need that flair that they're known for that people can't mimic anymore.
Yeah.
Homegrown, but
Right.
homegrown is not getting money. It's the export. It's like exporting goods.
Yeah. So I did ask Luis another question,
Yeah,
Luis Suarez, and I will read this out. So I asked him, why don't they produce any more stars? And he says because they've changed they the way to prepare the players. We need to have more space to develop their skills instead of be prepared for tactical games. In the past, we've played in the street and futsal at the beginning. And after moving to big pitches, nobody was worried about passing. We just had to be prepared to help the team. But a dribble in futsal was so important because when you dribble one
in
player,
small
you
places.
create an advantage like 3v2 or 4v3.
Mm,
Same in the street games. It was lost in the games. We are more interested to still passing like tiki taka, and it's killing our ability to be creative. So it's all that dribbling ability is gone. It's just passing tiki taka, which is not suited to their style. And I
nope.
asked him who are the stars if because he mentioned earlier, in my opinion, the better Brazilian players are playing as Brazilians, and one of them is a guy called Estevao, and he's coming to Chelsea next summer,
Oh God, that is
July
career over.
2025, and they reckon he's touted as the next Neymar, but he's coming to Chelsea.
Yeah, but he's going to play in a European football club. If he has,
Yes.
ask him if these players stay at home, stay instead of coming to Europe, would they be able to regain the football, the samba football by staying in Brazil, instead of coming to Europe?
Yeah. I'm gonna ask that.
I mean, he's coming to Chelsea. What's he going to learn in Chelsea? Remember
The
Oscar? They had
the
Oscar. They
the
had David
yeah
Luiz.
yeah.
These are some of
Oscar
the
was
cream of the
okay.
crop they had.
Cream of the crop. That's right.
Yeah, Rivaldo, Ronaldo, Ronaldinho, Roberto Carlos. Some very good, talented players.
Yeah.
Because the teams, Barcelona allowed, if you notice, they allowed Ronaldinho to be himself. You know,
Yeah.
they allowed him to express himself. Same thing, Rivaldo. But now
Yeah.
the players have to like, no, you need to cut all that dribbling, pass the fucking ball, and keep it moving, mate. That's
Right.
it. So these guys
So
are like, what the F?
yeah. So he reckons in the future this guy Estavo can be the best player in the world and can help Vinicius Rodrigo. But the worst position in the Brazilian national team are the defenders. Yeah. So they're not known. They're not proud of their defenders.
No, they
Um.
struggle badly.
Yeah. It's yeah. I think with the Brazilian football, it's got to be about all out attack, keep the ball, don't let the ball anywhere near their own goal,
Yep, yep.
keep it away.
Because they played so high pressing that the teams
Mm,
barely got the ball. That was how they played. You could not,
yeah,
like I said, you had to beat them on counter-attack. That was it. Other
Yeah.
than that, you're getting
That's
destroyed, mate.
that's probably what happened in 2014, right? The guys
Oh
couldn't
yeah.
keep the ball,
Nah.
and because the defense is so hopeless,
Hmm.
they weren't able to keep possession. They're not
No.
doing any of their dribbles and trying to play the tiki taka way and giving the ball to
Yeah.
the opposition, turning over.
So you just see fans crying every time, every
Yeah.
tournament is like they used to go into tournaments as the favorites, 100%.
Yes.
Now, nah, tournaments is they'll tell you Spain, Argentina, Brazil will be probably the fourth or fifth favorite. Which
Mm.
Brazil's going to show up? The last four World Cups, they've not showed up. They've not
Then,
gone past. They got
yeah,
beaten by. I remember them losing to Belgium. I remember
yeah,
Lukaku and what's the De Bruyne
yeah.
destroyed them, and Neymar's crying. This was
Mm.
2018 World Cup. So they,
There might be a little bit of hope for them in the future, right?
you think so?
Yeah, well, this
I
is the
can't
thing,
see it.
right? If you've got Vinicius and Rodrigo,
Right? Who
and
are
then you've
playing
got
where? Where they playing?
Real Madrid, but then you've also okay, so it's not going to be the Samba way, but then you've got Estevio, who's a great player, and then you've got Endrick, and then if they can, create start working on the defense, maybe the European way, maybe
Right?
there is hope for them in the future.
Okay, so why they could try this? Why don't they? Because, and I get it. And it's that mentality in the head. The ones they export are always seen to be better than the homegrown, which is what most countries do, developing countries, right? The one who's been exported out is always going to be seen as a
Mm,
guaranteed place than the local guys who do the grinding. They need to have a mixture of homegrown who will play the Samba way, the Europeans who've been shipped out and exported, and blend them to get a team together. Because what they're doing is bringing all the Europeans back. All right, do us magic for us. You know what? These guys are like, we haven't played magic for like 15
mm.
years, bro. We play European football against European
Yeah,
teams. Ain't gonna
I
work.
think I think you've got to get a coach. They've got to get a coach who's going to tap into the Big 12 teams in Brazil
Mm,
and then tap into all the best players who've been shipped out and find the way to merge the two, bring the two styles of football together to make it work. So
mm,
the 12 big clubs in Brazil are Atlético Mineiro,
yes.
Botafogo, Corinthians, Cruzeiro, Flamengo, Fluminense, Grêmio Internacional, Palmeiras, Santos, São Paulo, and Vasco da Gama.
Vasco da Gama.
I
Those
mean,
are the best teams in
surely,
Brazil.
yeah, but surely within those 12 teams, they could muster up seven or eight decent players, maybe.
They were producing like the talent those teams were producing back in the 80s and 90s, 70s and 80s were like, it was just coming off a trolley belt.
Yes.
Next, 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 next. So those talents were always staying home. They didn't go
Mm.
out of the country. So they stayed home. They played together week in, week out.
I
So the,
think
the,
there's
the, the coach was able to build the team with the players he sees weekly. See what I mean?
yeah,
That's why these
and
guys
I think it
now,
inspires the next generation when you have players like that
of
because they're
course,
all watching Zico and Ronaldinho
yeah,
and
yeah,
Ronaldo on TV week after
yeah,
week and saying, "Wow, I want to
yeah,
be like this."
yeah,
Practice their skills. They're more inspired.
yeah.
They're more inspirational footballers compared to the current lot.
Oh, yeah.
So
100%. You hit it on the
the
nail.
young kids they aspire to be like these greats, and
Yeah.
that definitely helps in producing that line of new talent.
But that big wolf of money keeps rolling his head.
Mm.
Money is is money is a big factor. You know,
I think this guy really let
if
himself
you,
down. He
I
let the
think
country down
I
because
think he
all
lets
the
country
hopes
down,
were
man.
pinned on him,
Yeah.
and he was more interested in doing his having his parties and stuff. So
So
he
he
really
went
let
from
himself
he left
down.
Brazil, joined Barcelona, right? Where he teamed up with Messi and Suarez. They made
Yeah,
the they called them MSN, Messi, Suarez,
yeah,
and uh,
Neymar.
Neymar
Yeah,
against BBC, Bell, Benzema, and Cristiano.
yeah.
So
That was a good matchup.
yeah, so what a commentator a journalist said to Ronaldo, he said MSN they're all like brothers of family. They're
Yeah,
all South American. They visited each other. Ronaldo said, listen, we're not here to party and be friends and family. We're here to win trophies.
Yes.
Your boy he's a bastard. He's a bastard. He's like, listen,
Single-minded vision, though. You've got
he
to
said,
respect
listen,
him for that.
we are
Yeah.
here to win Champions Leagues, not to
Yes.
go to each other's house and be having parties and bonfires. This guy, he's
I
cold-hearted.
agree with him. Yeah.
And the result was that's why they won those Champions Leagues back to back to back to
Yeah.
back. He said, we are here to do a job and make the team the greatest. We're not here to be doing all that. I said, this guy, he's cold. He's just cold-hearted. But
Mm,
he says it from a place whereby too much familiarity and lack of seriousness of goal. Because like if you remember what Roy Keane says, I
mm,
can't remember shaking the opponent's hands
mm.
before the game and laughing because it's not a game. This is
No.
war. But he said these guys they're all in the same fan group together. They'll be hanging out
Mm.
with. He said, nah. He said, I won't ask. He said, if it's not a World Cup, I'm not asking for nobody's shirt. He said, nah.
I, I wouldn't be surprised if Neymar was partying with the opposition, inviting them to his parties.
Yeah, of course they all want to go to Neymar's parties. He always
Mm,
goes to his parties. The Brazilian Carnival,
mm.
he's always off. He's always injured around the Brazilian Carnival. He loves a party, but you
Yeah.
have to know yourself. What do you want to do? Do you want to be a footballer or a party player? And I would say even Messi likes like listen, Messi is focused. You don't see Messi
Yeah.
in parties and all that.
No.
But this one, Neymar,
I think Messi was like that because of Ronaldo. They almost drove each other on
yeah,
to
yeah,
be the best they could possibly be.
yeah,
And
yeah,
they've both admitted that in interview
yeah,
that without each other, they would never have been the best two players in the world because they really drove each other to
100%.
excel. Ronaldo needed Messi. Messi needed Ronaldo to spur
Mm,
each other on.
mm.
What does Neymar need?
Money and fine women.
Yeah,
Ah, our guys, he was an absolute mess. I'll tell you that, man. He's a mess.
yeah.
But
Maybe this next crop can do it though. Don't
is
know.
he, where's he now? Where's Neymar?
I
Isn't
don't
he in
know.
Saudi? Is in Saudi now, I think, isn't he? I think it's in Saudi.
Uh, let's have a look where he
Yeah, have a
is.
look. Where is Neymar playing football now? Yeah, he went to some place yeah, he's out of Europe.
Al Hilal, Al
Oh, there you
Hilal,
go. There you go.
Saudi club. Yeah,
Yeah,
he joined for 98 million
there
US
you go.
dollars.
Oh, wow. That
Wow,
says a lot, man.
it's still a lot of
That,
money, but
oh, flipping heck, mate. So
30,
he left
32 years
PSG
old.
to go there. How old is he now?
Yeah, 32.
Wow, he's getting on there. He's getting on,
Yeah,
bro. And he's getting so many injuries. He's always been having those niggles, you know. You remember that World Cup that he was abused for over rolling on the floor? Do you remember that one?
yeah.
They were doing so many memes
Oh
about.
yeah, yeah. I remember they made a little meme out of this as well, just constantly rolling over. So I asked Luis, if these players stayed in Brazil, could the World Cup style of Samba continue? And he said, not sure, but if they could stay there until 21, 23 years old at least, it'd be
There you
interesting
go.
to see if the Brazilian football would bring more investment. But the teams are concerned if they would be able to sell these players. If we could restore our identity, of course, a World Cup is too hard. But I'm sure when the guys were seeing a team with Rivaldo, Ronaldinho, Ronaldo, Adriano, Kaká, it was affecting their minds more than the current players. Neymar isn't my favorite Brazilian player, but I guess he's the best player after those. So it
After
seems
Ronaldo?
like the expectation as well, trying to emulate the 2002 team here behind
Mm,
me,
mm.
it was it's probably just too much of a feat, but the
Yeah,
expectation was there,
yeah.
and they could
It's a
never
lot.
match it.
It's a lot.
Like England trying to win a World Cup, despite all the talent they've got in that squad, their expectation
600.
is so high that they almost falter.
Now he was a beast. He
Yeah,
was a beast. I think his injuries also, and he wasn't the most, he didn't look after his health a lot. He loved a good steak. You know,
Yeah. Which is not the best thing to have if you're a footballer.
football,
I
no.
don't know if you've ever seen Game Changers,
Game
but
changers, no.
Conor McGregor, he was on a heavy meat diet, eating lots of
Mm,
steaks before his
mm,
match, and his opponent
no
was
way.
a vegan, and he had much more energy throughout the whole of the
Really?
fight, the MMA fight. Yeah, that
Wow.
Conor, they did a scientific study on it that having a meat diet as an athlete is not the best. Have
Mm-mm.
being on a vegan diet as an athlete is the best thing for you because
Wow.
apparently your energy levels stay higher for longer.
Mm.
Um, Fascinating documentary, actually. Game Changers.
Game changers, wow.
Yeah, but yeah, it's better
Yeah,
to be a vegan if you're an athlete.
there you go. There you go. But these guys, you see, sometimes I think there's something someone told me. He said sometimes you could have all the talent in the world, but if
Yeah,
the effort and the mindset are not together, it doesn't work out.
yeah.
Some of these guys, like that was the reason why this guy got rid of Ronaldinho from Barcelona. Yes, Messi was the boy they were grooming to come forward, and he
Right.
didn't want Ronaldinho's party lifestyle to influence him. So he
Ah, I
shipped
see.
him out. Yeah, he shipped
Who
Ronaldinho out.
shipped him out? Was it
Your mate, Pep.
Pep, my
Yeah,
mate?
yeah,
Oh, sorry, it's not just being vegan, vegetarian.
yeah,
Vegetarian
yeah.
diet's better.
Pep
So
shipped
yeah,
him
so
out.
that's what. So it started with Ronaldinho then, all this party lifestyle,
Yes,
all that
Ronaldinho and
fame.
Ronaldinho. What's his name? It shipped out. You see, Pep did not like, even though Ronaldinho and Samuel Eto'o were one of the most prolific
Oh, Eto'o was
combinations.
a deadly striker.
He
He
was
was
a
good.
deadly striker, mate.
Yeah,
He shipped them both out. He
dearie
shipped
me.
them both out to accommodate Messi.
It's amazing, yeah. You get rid of that
Yes,
talent, but I guess if you have bad behavior in the team,
but
it's
Ronaldinho
going
for
to
partying.
infect. Yeah, so if you have that bad behavior, then it's going others are going to start doing it,
Mm.
and then it's going to just bring the team down. So I can see why he's done that.
Messi was
Yeah,
the golden child. Golden
yeah,
child. He
yeah.
was the golden child. He was the guy they all pinned their hopes on. This was
Where
the
did
guy.
Ronaldinho go after Barcelona?
He went to AC Milan,
Oh, okay.
where he
He did
was.
okay there.
He, like, he was already he was already a dying breed. He had over partied. He was Football wasn't his focus anymore. He was just
No.
going there for a paycheck.
So basically, same as what Neymar did then.
Yes, literally. So this is the 2002 World team that you talked about.
Cafu,
This
yeah.
That team was
Rocket Jr., Edmilson, Lucio. Oh, I remember Lucio.
that team
Yeah.
was solid, mate. They had everything, especially the front
Cleberson,
three.
Gilberto Silva. Yeah, that front three, my God. Imagine facing up to that front three.
Who did mark? England didn't know where to start. England
Oh,
scored first and lost.
who?
England scored first.
England
Um,
came up against this team
yeah, in
and
2002 World
they
Cup
scored first and lost. Yeah, I'm
and
not
lost. Yes.
surprised. It's difficult. It's
Uh,
impossible to mark these guys. They're so fluid.
yeah, Ronaldinho scored a free kick from 40 yards. David Seaman didn't know what he was doing. He followed the ball to the back of his net.
Yeah.
That's an absolute count. Yeah, they won the World Cup that year.
Yeah, but
2002. Well,
you see that front six, actually three, it's front seven, right?
yeah,
Them alone can keep possession of that ball. Those
that's
defenders
it.
won't have much problem.
Exactly my
Those
point.
seven can keep that ball. They'll
Yeah,
just keep hold of it.
100%,
And
mate.
so the defense doesn't get tested like
Nope,
they did in 2014.
nope. Oh, this was magic right there. This was magic. This was magic. They were just, you know, the teams they played for. Real Madrid accommodated Ronaldo and Roberto
Mm,
Carlos.
yeah,
Barcelona accommodated Ronaldo, Ronaldinho, and Rivaldo. They
mm,
played to their strengths. Now
yeah,
you play to what we want to play. That's why the
yeah,
players are like, um, how? That's where the problem is. And you're so right. And what your friend said, thank you so much because he really answered a lot of questions.
yeah.
So he's saying, is the future bright?
He thinks that the talent needs to stay in Brazil until around 23 years old.
Yeah.
Um,
They're taking them at
which will
16 and
then,
17.
yeah, that's too young. And
Too
so
young.
by just keeping the good players there, the Brazil Football League would get more investment. But it's all about profit. You spot these talents and you're getting big money and you ship them off.
This
You
is
know,
this is so they're now
it's
becoming a selling. They're not no more. They're now more of a selling league than
yeah,
a league. This was the '94 when they won in USA when they
right.
beat Italy on penalties. What's his
Mm-hmm.
name? Missed his penalty. Roberto Baggio missed his
Baggio,
penalty for
yeah, yeah, I remember
Baggio.
him. Yeah, yeah,
After missing penalty, he just stood there for like 2 minutes. He couldn't move. I think he was in shock. He just stood there. It was that again. He was just like, while these guys were celebrating. I mean, they played well. The toughest game they came against was Dennis Bergkamp led Holland, who
mm,
they had to beat 3-2. I remember that tournament so well,
yeah,
94. Then I used to watch a
yeah,
lot of international football. These days, wake me up when it's over.
yeah,
That's where I'm at, mate. I'm I'm done. If it's not a tournament like World Cup, Euros, and
yeah,
I'm not doing international friendlies, nah, not interested. Waste of
yeah. Do
time.
you remember Spain when they won back-to-back trophies, three tournaments in a row?
Yeah, they
Do you
won
remember that
Euros,
that
World Cup
team
Euros.
with Xavi,
Iniesta,
Iniesta?
Xavi,
Um, that's
and
who's that striker up front again?
they played the false nine. They didn't have a striker.
Yeah, no, they had that one guy who was
Oh,
I can't remember his name.
David, no. Uh,
David something, can't remember. But just I mean, Xavi and Iniesta, past masters.
oh,
But then
that was something else.
they're like they took that Brazilian mantle almost, but they back-to-back tournaments. I think it was
Yep.
two Euros and a World Cup, right? Remember?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes. No,
dominant,
they're getting
so
back.
dominant. So Argentina's done, they won the last World Cup. Spain again winning another Euro. It's definitely
It looks like Spain is coming back.
yeah, some good football there,
Yeah. Uh,
definitely.
so I think we could say the collapse of Brazilian football is down to the export of talent so young. The talent being shipped out is too early. Like your friend said, if the talent is
Mm,
kept to at least age 20, 23, at
yeah,
least 20 or 23, the player could that craft is in them.
yeah.
But when it's taken when it's just like when you're being shipped to boarding school,
You
you're
shipping them out too early.
shipping them too
Yeah,
early. They've not learned the craft
that
enough.
that's right. Yeah, yeah,
And but these clubs want the money. You see what I mean? They want the
yeah.
money. So they constantly have scouts who are they're constantly updating. Oh, if you guys have any great talent, let us know. Barcelona,
Hmm.
so all these people, all these top European clubs have scouts in Brazil looking for
Yeah,
young talents at age 15, the next this, the next Ronaldo, the next Zico, the next oh no, whatever you call it. And they don't get to turn 23, 24, 17, they're already in Europe playing European
yeah.
fragmented football.
I think also as well because of the way Brazil is, we have a lot of Brazilians in London, and
They're getting
I
what?
was talking to one, and he said that Brazil is very unsafe. There's a lot of
Mm,
kidnapping. There's a lot of
yeah, yeah. Crime
gun
rate is very high.
violence. Crime rate's extremely high. So there's no real aspiration to stay in Brazil anymore.
Yeah, yeah.
People do want to leave. They go everywhere around the world because they don't even feel safe. So
I,
imagine
I, I,
being a footballer, high earnings in the Brazilian football league. You're going to get kidnapped and then
yeah, for
extorted.
ransom. Yeah,
The
yeah,
ransom,
which
yeah,
is security is
yeah.
the economy is not stable. I get that. That
No,
is the
it's not stable.
reason why some of them want to come out of
Yeah,
poverty. When Anthony left to Ajax, he was what? How old is Anthony now? How Anthony for United? He's about
23,
20.
24 is quite young.
He's quite young. He played for Ajax. He left
24.
Brazil. He's 24. He left Brazil
Yeah,
about 16, 17. Yeah, that's
very
an
young. Yeah,
example. Ajax, he was earning about 50,000 at Ajax.
really.
Now at United
Wow.
is earning nearly 200.
Jesus Christ, he doesn't even play.
It's my point. So
There's
tell me
talk about
why.
him going to Galatasaray, isn't it?
He said no. He said
I
he's
think they
not
came
going.
in for a loan deal.
Yes. Galatasaray came out for him. Fenerbahce
Mm.
went for Casemiro.
Right.
Two
They
Brazilians.
don't want to go.
They don't want to go. Casemiro said he's fighting for his place. I said on 350,000 a week, of course you're going to try and fight for your
You would,
place.
yes, of course.
Because, did you know? I just realized Casemiro, even when he was winning Champions Leagues at Real Madrid, he was not on 300 a week. He was on two something. Even at
What,
Real Madrid.
Lotus?
Yeah, he wasn't earning 300 at Real Madrid. The highest earners were Ronaldo and Ramos. He was
Wow.
not on, but now he's and we got the his aging part. Like I said, we got high car with high mileage, and we paid
Yeah,
more for the high mileage car. That you see what I mean? It's
yeah.
stupid. It is stupid.
And
And
we paid 70 million euros for him.
yeah, 50, about
That's a
60,
lot of money.
yeah, about 65, 65. But his first season, he was great. His last
Yeah,
season,
he was brilliant. Yeah.
that game against Crystal Palace last season, flipping heck, mate.
Check this out, right? So looking at his salary,
Mm,
Casemiro's salary.
mm.
So he with us he earns 350 grand a week, which is 18.2 million pounds a year.
Yeah,
Right. And then 2020, when did he join us? 2022,
2023,
2023.
2022 for yes.
He was on 158 grand. Is that right?
Yeah,
So he was on, they
he was
doubled his
150
wages
we doubled his
when
wages.
when he
At Real
joined
Madrid, he was on
us.
150, yeah. I told you,
Oh,
he
right.
was
So
not earning a lot at Real Madrid.
they're
150 he was
saying
earning.
2022 to 2023, he was on 158,000 a week,
That was Real
which is
Madrid,
8.2 million. At 2021 season, he was on 189,000 euros per week, which is
which is
9.8 million
150.
euros.
Yeah.
And then 2020, he was on 210,000 euros. So
Yeah,
his
all at Real
wages went
Madrid.
down.
Yeah, in Real Madrid, he was not earning a lot of money. He wasn't a high earner at Real Madrid. Real Madrid, they
And
have a
then,
structure, mate.
yeah, yeah, check this out as well, right? So he from 2013 when he joined, or this is as far as back it goes, he was on 871,000 a year, 16,000 euros a week. Then he went up to 24,000 a week,
There you
38,000
go.
a week,
Yeah,
45,000 a week,
yeah.
47,000 a week,
Mm-hmm.
47.
Mm.
And then from 2018 season, it jumped to 210. It's
He was
probably
last
that's
time in
when
the
the
shelf.
Champions League. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, very low wages, 47,000 a week
Oh,
for
yeah.
first five,
For
six
a team
years
playing
at Real
that
Madrid.
for a team playing that kind of football, winning Champions League, he wasn't
Yeah.
making a lot of money.
Oh, he went to Porto.
He did.
Yeah, Real Madrid 2013, then he went to Porto for 2014, 2015 season.
So
Probably
they
a
loaned
loan
him
deal.
out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Then came
Wow,
back.
so really staggering low wages. So
Yeah.
he's earned all of his money, most of his money at Man United.
Oh yeah. That's it. Man, was his retirement fund.
An extra 10 million pounds a year than what
Imagine
Real
that,
Madrid
mate.
were paying him.
Imagine that.
Why did they even sanction a deal for that much money? That's crazy. Woodward, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's on
Yeah.
8.2 million a year and they jumped him up by 10 million. Why? Why did they do that?
Man
Bizarre.
United, they use money to lure players, and that shouldn't
Yeah.
be the case. It shouldn't be. It should be. You need to be part of this project. But
Same
they
as
have to be brutal.
yeah, so same as Sancho, right? So Sancho or Borussia Dortmund was on
I
much
don't want to
lower
be sick
wages
here.
and they
I don't
just
want to be sick. Yeah.
bumped him up when he came to Man United.
Yep. That's
So
it.
this Man United, it's Ed Woodward.
Yep. I
Yeah. So
mean, he was
basically,
earning 70, about 80,000 at Borussia Dortmund, 120. It was at
yeah, at the
375.
yeah at 21 in 2021 at our club, he was earning 13 million pounds a year. Sorry, $30 million a year annual. Same for 22, 23, 24. Projected 30, stuck at 13 million for till 2026. We've got
Mhm.
him on a 6 year deal or 7 year deal,
Yes,
whatever it is.
no, fuck did
13
that happen?
million. That's crazy money, honestly. And then what
That's
was
so
he on at
stupid.
the Borussia Dortmund? So 5.2 million.
There's a big difference.
5.2 million euros at Dortmund per year jumps up to 13 million at United. Doubled him up,
You
more than
agree?
doubled him up.
Yep.
Crazy, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Our wage structure's just,
It's a mess, mate.
yeah,
Then
it's a
Wood was
mess.
giving them guys 6, 7 year contract. Don't they even gave Phil Jones a 7 year contract? Like, bro, really? For a guy, who's got a very big injury history, you're gonna give him a 7 year contract?
Yeah. What's the deal? I know we've gone off side of topic with Brazil,
Mm.
but what's the deal with Chelsea now? Taking Sancho on a year-long loan and with a proviso that they have to buy him at the end of it.
Yes, because United said they're not going to loan players out. That's why they pulled out from the Juventus deal. Juventus said, yeah, we'll loan him, but we don't want to be tied to an option to buy. So Man
Hmm.
United said, all right. Chelsea said they have the option to buy. They'll take that option too. So, and United wanted a team that would take him and pay his wages. United said they're not
Pay
going to
his
be
wages in
doing,
full.
yeah, they said they're not going to be doing paying the players' wages even though it's loan. That's why Galatasaray, when they looked at
Yeah.
Casemiro's wages, they're like, we'll move on swiftly from this one. Because United
I
said we
think
ain't paying.
no, and it's a real shame because I don't know, maybe he's not a Man United player, but if Ten Hag is not going to last, Sancho could have a future at the club, but is he the right
I
type
think he's
of,
done. I think he's done.
do you think he's done at this
I
club,
think he's
whoever
done
comes
at
in?
this club. Just like how we sold off Mason Greenwood. That's how we're gonna sell
Oh my God.
Sancho.
Yeah,
Remember,
I would have loved to.
Greenwood is not alone. He's sold.
He's
He's in
sold, yeah,
Marseille.
to
Sold.
Marseille.
Yeah, he ain't
That was
coming
a
back.
it was he had a great season, didn't he? After,
Yeah.
so the Chelsea deal, it's an
Mm.
obligation to buy
Yes.
for 20 to 25 million.
Big drop. We paid what, 80 for him or 75?
73 million.
Big drop. But
We've
United are
lost a
prepared
lot
to
of
cut
money
the
on this
losses.
guy.
Yeah. And I said I
That's
cannot
too
count
cheap.
five. I can't count 5 games. I could say
Hmm.
he was great. I can't get five on my. I can't. I really can't.
Neither can I.
That shows you.
Look at the loss. I mean, I remember
He was
I
one of the
think the
biggest
Oli
flops.
days, we
We
were really
chased.
going for
Oh
that player.
God.
We thought this is the savior. So
Yeah. He's gonna
then
play
we
on
get
the
him. We
right
don't
wing.
buy him that year because I think he
Yeah.
was valued at over 100 million. We don't
Mm-hmm.
get him that year. We get him the year after for 73.
Mm-hmm.
What a disappointment.
When we got him on to play on the right wing, when he now said, no, I'm going to play on the left wing, that's when everything went left. He told Ole, I'm not playing as a right winger. I'm going to play as a left winger, which means they would have to switch Radford to the right, which they didn't plan
Hmm.
to. That's when
Hmm.
everything capitulated.
Oh dear.
Ole wasn't even
Why?
playing him. Ole wasn't
Why
playing.
didn't? Why didn't he say you go after that player and you don't even play him? Why wouldn't he play on the right wing?
He said, I'm not a right winger. I can't play the left
But
or
he
play
did.
through the
He
middle.
played in that position for Dortmund.
I think he's an asshole. Pardon my language. I think
Man,
he's an
you
asshole.
pay that kind of wages. You play wherever
Exactly my
the
point.
team wants you. It's the
So
wrong attitude.
when he came, Ole got fired. He only played. Ole didn't even select him a lot. Then Ragnick didn't play him a lot. Then in comes Ten
Ten
Hag.
Hag, who doesn't even want
He
him.
even said, "All right, since you're having a few issues, go to this camp and get yourself 4 months off. 4 months
Somewhere
off.
in Netherlands, right? Yeah.
Yeah, 4 months off, and you come back and you're running your mouth.
It's,
Get the
it's
fuck out of
the
there,
it's
you
the
idiot."
wrong attitude to have, right? You're a
Yeah.
star player for the club. You're paying the biggest wages ever, massive pay rise,
Mm,
and then you don't want to play where the manager wants to play you.
mm,
Then you don't get selected, and then you become depressed because you're not getting
mm,
selected.
mm,
Whereas you've put yourself in that position to not get
mm.
selected. And then
When
you feel
you
depressed, and then you get sent away for 4 months to deal with the depression. Then you come back, and your work rate isn't there. I think his
That's what they
attitude was
call
all wrong.
when that's what I'm saying. When you don't take accountability, he's like that guy who's pulled the pin on a grenade and still holding
Yeah,
the grenade. That's he's
that's exactly what he's
not
done.
everyone would do this with him.
Yeah,
He got
that's it. Oh shit, what do I do with the grenade? It's still in
there
my
you
hand.
go. That's what I'm saying. He's really fucked that up big time. But
Yeah.
this is welcome, stranger.
Joseph, we've got a letter, we've got a sub in the 90th minute. Joe.
I mean, yeah, yeah. I need to be Rashford sentence right now.
Yeah.
It's
You're
Right.
doing an Anthony, man. Come on for a
Yeah,
minute.
I know, right?
So
Do my
what
little
we
twirl.
we covered the demise. Why is Brazil failing as a nation in terms of football? The team we all grew up, the golden yellow, the blue shorts, we knew they're coming as a World Cup as favorites. These days, since 2002, which is the picture behind Vim, that team was the last team to win the World Cup with Rivaldo, Ronaldinho, and Ronaldo as the front three. Since then,
Yeah.
it's been maximum quarterfinals after that. And we talked about the debacle in 2014 when they got destroyed in Brazil by Germany 7-1.
Oof, that had to have been. I don't even think they've recovered from that. That
No,
had to
they
have been one
never.
of the most. I mean, geez, that was for it to happen in Brazil. Like
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
was, it was. I don't know. It
Your
was like
your favorite
watching.
player was there. Your favorite player was there. David Luiz.
It's just. I don't know. It's like I don't know if it's something that's having to do with their development or I think maybe the pressure might be a little bit too much. And at
Yeah.
the same time, I think just a lot of people have been getting passes for a long time. There's a lot of players that we consider great players, but it's simply because they're Brazilian, but they just
Yes.
aren't like
Yeah,
they've been overrated. A lot of Brazilians have
overrated.
been overrated for a long
Yes,
time,
over
you know.
the years, a lot of Brazilian players have been overrated. I mean, look at there's a player we had a player called Kleberson. He signed on the same day as Ronaldo. He was horrible at United. He was absolute rubbish. We shipped him out within 2 seasons. He was done. Then we got Fred.
Yeah. Fred, Andreas Pereira,
Oh,
you
I forgot
know,
Andres Pereira was Brazilian.
yeah,
Oh my
yeah,
God.
that kid's man.
But it's that we expect so much from Brazilians, but some of them have been so bad. But they ask, why are they so bad? Because most of them,
Yeah,
yeah, Vim had a friend who has been going back and forth with on the chat, and the
yeah.
guy he's Brazilian. And Vim, tell you what your friend said.
Quite a few things, basically. Brazil, I mean, obviously, Tim, you started to mention as well, but Brazil have been shipping out their players too soon. So
Yeah,
my friend
From
says
homegrown.
that from homegrown, yeah. So my friend said that basically the Brazilian players need to stay in Brazil till around 23, um, so that they can, learn that Brazilian way of football and then go and focus on their club careers elsewhere. The problem is that Brazil, and I think this is something I added, that the economy is not great. The
yeah,
crime rate's quite high. It's not really safe for most people to live in Brazil because, gun crime, kidnappings, ransom, and being a professional footballer, you're going to be an easy, quite a high target for that kind of
yeah,
stuff. So people just generally want to leave the country, and then the football is not invested in. You've got 12 big teams there, but the, Brazilian FA or whatever they are, they don't really invest much in that in those 12 leagues. So all the talent's being lost, and the Samba way of football is lost. So
you're
yeah,
absolutely right.
yeah.
Joe, growing up, what did you see Brazil a lot growing up as a team, as a nation?
Not much, just really just internationally. Growing up in Nigeria, it was to us, it was like they were like
The gods,
there was yeah, it was like
that aura around them.
yeah, it was like a I don't even know how to explain it. It was like the greatest, like the top of the line, just like what they did to football as a country is just like it's unmatched in any way, shape, or form. Like they just they made football look. These are the guys that they played the game as if they were like superheroes, as if like they were doing things with the ball that you
Yep,
never saw anywhere else. You
yep.
know, and like for them to, it was like the only thing that I can come close to. I don't know if Vim got these in England so you had your conventional way of playing basketball, right? And then like there was this thing called the and one mixtape. right, that came out here in the States. And it's basically just, playing basketball, but it was a lot of the dribbling skills and stuff like that, things that you never saw in the NBA.
Yeah.
That's what it felt like people playing like no look passes. I mean, yeah, they
Mm.
have no look passes, but there was just certain style of balling that you never saw. And but that was what Brazil was, and then nobody else was even coming close to it. And I think because of that, they built such a aura around them
Yeah.
that a lot of people just got passes.
Mystical.
It was
Was this
mystical.
during
Yeah.
Michael Jordan's reign that this mixtape was going around? Or was it before that?
Shortly after he was leaving. So like
Ah,
Allen Iverson would have been like somebody that you would have thought. Say like when the cross, like Allen. Okay, so street basketball was so crazy that like when one of the moves got introduced in the NBA, it just completely like people just lost their fucking minds. Like the crossover has always been a thing in street ball, right? But then when Allen Iverson brought it into the NBA, like people just didn't know what to do about it. It was like a cheat code move, right? And he was just crazy, just dusting everybody with it. So I don't know. I need to send you some YouTube videos. Like these guys, they were just. I'm talking like coming down the court, bouncing the ball off your opponent's head, getting it back, crossing them over, fadeaway jump shot, get them out of here. It was like crazy, and that's what Brazil was. And Ronaldinho, like in that picture right there, is one
He
of
was a
those.
wizard.
It was just like, wait,
Magical.
what am I watching here? Like, what is this? And we would all try it, while we were kids playing. Like the level of technical ability that team had, the Brazilians had. I still have not been able to see. I still have not seen
Are you
a
able to play
left back.
videos for us? Are you able to play a video for us if I tell you to pull up a video? Were you able to pull it up so we could see a particular
Uh,
Brazilian goal?
I could probably do that. I can
Yeah.
do that off the cuff. Okay.
Okay. Brazil, Russia, 1982 World Cup. Brazil
Oh,
won 2-1.
you got a specific video you're looking for.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that
Brazil
Brazilian's second goal? So just pull up the
versus
clip.
who? Brazil versus who?
Russia. They were known as USSR. I was a kid then. I remember that goal. It was by Eder. Fucking hell, mate. You've seen
In
the build up to
82?
that. 82, yeah. The best Brazilian team that never won the World Cup was 82. They had Zico as Socrates.
Yeah, yeah.
And they always have very beautiful fans. And they're always crying. They've been
Look at
made to
this guy.
cry for so long.
I mean, it's one. I mean, that's just South America settings, man. Just like people live outside. They work out. They don't eat like we do, and it is what it is. You know, that's. Let me see here. Got
Whew,
this.
the Brazilians. So even now, telling him they used to come into tournaments as the favorites, even whatever. These days, they're not even the favorites anymore. They're just like, what Brazil's gonna turn up? Because we now have the European version of Brazil, or is it the Samba version? The Samba version, we've all come to the conclusion is done because all the talent is being shipped up too early. They're now playing into fragmented European style of football.
Do you want me to like just have it as my background, or do you want me to just like share it? Like
Share it.
share it.
Show. Can you show it? Sometimes you're
I
able to
can't I
show it.
can't
You can
I,
play the
you
video.
need to
Is
make
there?
you need to allow that feature, Timothy.
How do I allow that feature? Oh God.
I don't know how you stopped it. Okay, so whenever
what
I try it,
being
it
able to
says
screen share, you mean?
yeah, I think you have to be the host. So you gotta give me host
Ah,
and then I'll be able to you turn that off by default. Timmy.
Um, let's see.
Joe, can you raise a
Uh,
support ticket?
You know, this guy, man. Yo, tell you what, man. Yo, a couple of days ago, Tim
hmm.
hits me up on WhatsApp. He was like, yo,
Yeah.
Joe, I need to figure out this call-in thing. All right. Do some research, let me know.
What
Bet.
calling thing?
And I'm like, he wants Tim wants to be able to do call-ins. I'm guessing like in during live
Oh,
streams, right?
when is
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
live
Yeah,
stream?
Yeah.
All right.
Just out the blue, just yo,
Oh yeah.
hey, do this
I
research.
I
Let
meant
me
what I
know.
said, and I'm still waiting for feedback. Oh,
I'm like,
you think
yo,
this is funny? It ain't funny to me. This is serious.
I you might see. Here's the thing about that is,
Hmm.
Tim, you need to learn some new technologies,
I'm
and
learning the new technology.
as I am
You
trying
don't
to.
see the picture sharing is coming up now. People are loving that. So I'm learning. But that said, I'm having, like I said, if I have a technical contributor, why not utilize his skill sets? You think all them side and Montgomery do them, they do anything? I've been doing this for myself for 5 years. It's not time for me to get some
Yeah,
assistance.
yeah, I remember those first videos. Those first videos was year one was
Exactly.
crazy.
Exactly. So, Vim, Joe was the very, very first person I interviewed on the channel. The very ever first person I interviewed. If I
Hmm.
find that video, it don't look like that now. He was like, I was even thinking he was gonna say no. He just said, "Oh yeah." So he was so polite. Not the Joe you have now that's all cursing
Yes.
me out. No, he was very polite.
No, no. I think Joe, you've been told, man. You
Now
your
he now
The
your
told
thing,
me,
technical
and
expertise is required, is
the thing is,
demanded.
it's like
Yeah.
twofold. I have to figure out what we can use, and then I have to figure out, can I teach this to Tim?
yeah, you
That
can.
the second
Give me
part is
instructions.
almost as hard as the first part. Go
Well,
ahead, make me host, man.
you could be in the show, and it could be like a two-man thing where Joe, you take the live calls, and Tim, you're the anchor.
Exactly. Joe, you see, Vim has the
Oh,
idea. We
oh,
need
so
to tie.
Oh, Vim's giving me work now too. Huh?
Yeah.
Is that what it is? It's
No,
like, yeah.
no, no, no.
Hey,
Just utilizing the
let me
dream
see if
team.
I could share it, that video. Hold on.
Yeah, like Tim's the anchor, and let's
And the
go to our
producer.
Joe, our technical advisor. Joe, do we have a call?
Exactly. Then Tim Joe will pull in.
Yeah,
That is how, like I
yeah,
said,
and
I
I'll do the
remember.
weather
See,
report.
every YouTuber I follow. I mean, a United teacher. If you look at them, from Saeed to I don't follow Rants, Saeed, Rants, Flex, they all came out of United Stand, right? They all came out of United. As much as they don't like Mark, they all came out of Mark United Stand. And they came out and took a following with them. They did not start from zero. We started from zero. We are
Zero.
116 away from
Grassroots.
4,000.
Grassroots right here.
Yeah, we're grassroots. We are 116 away from 4,000, and we will get that 116 before this year ends. We out by hook or crook. We will get 4,000. I've targeted end of
Yeah.
November.
Do you remember the
116 away.
other piece of software we looked at, Tim?
Mm,
The one where you do a live stream. Forgotten the
yes.
name of it. Do you remember where you could basically live in a show,
Mm,
broadcast at the same time, and then
yes.
take live
People
call-ins?
views. Yes, that's what I want us to get to our next level.
What's that software called again?
I think the one we saw is something VIQ or vid something.
It was something else.
EIQ.
Do you remember? Talked about a few years. I can't think. Was it a
Right.
year or two
But
ago?
we're still, it's something we
Yeah.
have to do. We have to
Is
change
that
and adapt.
OBS?
Which one?
OBS?
No, it wasn't OBS.
There's another
Um,
one that most of these guys all use. I forgot what it's called now. They all use that. And you get the people who could come on live and even contribute to the show. But you have to get to a certain point where you can add
StreamYard.
StreamYard. StreamYard.
StreamYard.
Yes.
StreamYard. Yeah.
StreamYard.
And you have these pretty good templates and stuff. I think a few
Yes.
webcasters use StreamYard.
Yes.
Yeah, and you can have you have nice borders and
So
templates and so on. And
Joe, look at
Is it
StreamYard.
free?
yeah,
It's really good. It's really good. That's where
yeah,
we're going next. There's the trial, they have the free trial one, even though StreamYard logo will be at the top right corner of all your videos. Then you have to now pay for every yearly subscription and all that,
yeah.
which gives you so many. You could
And you've
change
got
the
to
whole
have a
background.
good internet connection as well, a
Yeah,
fairly fast one, because you're broadcasting and recording at the same
and at
time.
the same time.
So you've got to have that bandwidth.
Yeah. And people
Oh,
could come in and you
Yeah.
could see their name come up on the bottom of your
how
screen.
So you've got a job, man, to do.
how do they call? Is it okay? So the people
StreamYard.
that call, Do
No,
they also need to have
they tune
StreamYard
in.
accounts?
I don't
Mm,
think they
I don't think they
need
have to. I think they see the
to.
show live and they could be responding live via YouTube as well. And we'll see it come up like as
You
we're
can
talking
have
now.
chat.
Yeah,
That's it. You can have live chat. You can have little chat plugins where people can be chatting while you're doing a live stream,
yeah,
But doesn't he have that right now
and
with
it
YouTube?
pops up. Yes, but isn't that? Yeah, but you've recorded that, isn't it? That's then broadcast.
so the one like
No,
when
they're
I do
Or are
doing
you
the
those
doing a
live
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 streams.
stream?
when I do
Yeah.
those live
Uh,
streams, I'm doing those live streams. People could log in and talk to me. That's
yeah,
fine. But that's YouTube live stream. It's slightly different because what these people do, they're on YouTube live stream, but they're on another platform to interact in a different way, if that makes sense.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
it's like the YouTube is now going live stream via StreamYard.
yeah.
Yeah.
It looks like you can have callers calling in, showing their cameras
Yes.
live while you're doing
Yes.
the broadcast.
Yes.
Looks like that, yeah.
So like a Q&A evening, like a Friday Q&A,
Yeah.
that would be great. And at that point, you're talking to them, you're literally getting them to subscribe, hit that button. It's the lights would just be flying in.
Hmm.
So yeah, we're gonna
Okay.
get there. We will get there. So Joe, I've raised the ticket. It's
Yeah.
called the research ticket. The SLAs are for a week,
Yeah.
free a week to consult, a month to implement.
And if
That's
Joe doesn't meet
SLA.
the SLA,
Uh, he knows what happens when you don't meet
You,
your
you,
SLA in the
you
corporate
adjust the
environment.
SLA.
We adjust it. But once we get the
yeah,
SLAs and our KPIs, we'll be
yeah,
fine. We're only 116 away from 4,000. We've come a long way, bro. We've come a long
right.
way.
Okay. I've helped with your SLA there, by the way, Joe. There is a blog on how to create a call-in show in StreamYard.
Right.
Okay.
So you obviously need a StreamYard account. You download, install Rogue, Amoeba's Audio Hijack. Um, then you can use FaceTime, Google Voice, Skype, or any other VoIP for listeners to call into, and then download and install Soundflower. There you go. There's most of your
Oh
ticket
my
done.
goodness. Yes. Go ahead and send that to me, please.
Yeah, it's in our chat now.
Right.
Oh,
So
yeah.
what a great way. So Joe, now that when you see Brazil now, what goes through your mind when you watch a tournament and Brazil's in it like World Cup? What goes through your mind? You think they're gonna win it?
I mean, no, it's not a guarantee anymore. But I just want to get back to as far as Brazil right now. We're so far away from them winning anything. I just want to see good football now. Right now, the football's not even good.
No,
The football is not good,
it's not good at all.
And I mean, to this day, I still don't know of a left back that is as technically gifted as Marcelo.
Roberto,
That
I think Roberto Carlos was a good left back. No,
after no no
he
no
was
no
before
like
Marcelo.
after yeah before Marcelo, like since Marcelo, I haven't seen anybody
No,
um
no,
even come close.
no.
You've had speedy guys, but like the talent, just it was crazy. Love watching that guy. It Brazil made me fall in love with football. That's what Brazil. That's what Brazil got the world to fall in love. I don't think football would be as
100%.
big as it is
No,
today if it wasn't for that country.
I'm telling you, mate.
You know,
They're on another level.
yeah.
But
You
it
know,
just all of a sudden the lights just went out, and they're still trying to figure out what went wrong. That's the bad thing about it.
yeah. Like they made a good point. The development stage, like, but that's definitely that's a challenge to get a lot of these kids to stay in Brazil with the kind of money Europe is throwing at them because they
Yeah,
all want the next Neymar. Everybody wants, you know what I mean? And Neymar wasn't necessarily a leader.
no,
I don't think so in that Brazilian locker room. It was a lot of flash in the pan type stuff, you
yeah,
know. Like I don't feel like a lot of Brazilians now earn the accolades that they're getting, you
right.
know.
You see,
But
this was the 1958 Brazilian team that Pele played in 1958. You can see young Pele in front there. This team were getting paid under £20 a week.
it's insane. That's crazy.
It was so bad, but it wasn't the money that was, it was the passion and just hearing the beat of the samba by the fans made it was a mystical flow of air that made them play with the beat of the samba from the fans that made them like, we're gonna make this magical.
You
That
know,
was what they did.
it's not just Brazil too. I kind of feel like the same things happen to a lot of African countries, Nigerian as well. Nigeria used to have like a pizzazz to their playing style
Yeah.
that
So
you
going hand in
know,
hand there.
it's well, you know, a lot of these kids are getting picked up early and they're playing European style football, you know. That's
Yeah.
nice. That's all nice and dandy and
So are
everything,
you
but
gonna say it? So is can we conclude that money is the factor now?
money is a humongous factor
This
with
was the team that this was
yeah.
after they won the 1958 World Cup. Look at the boots they wearing. No name boots, no name brand, no sponsors on the shirt. These shirts were cheap, made by the tailors locally in the country. No sponsor, no Adidas, nothing. But they
I
were
believe
able to,
this is before money really got into football though.
yes,
So like this is
everybody
before
there was
decisions by
homegrown.
FIFA had been made. Yeah.
Yeah, this was everybody.
Mm.
Like not to like I told them, not to the late 90s. Most of the talent, the Zico, the Socrates, all played at home. They did not play abroad. But when they started coming abroad, Ronaldo, Rivaldo, Ronaldinho, the teams they played for conformed to their skill set. Not the reverse now, whereby you are going to conform to how
Right.
we play. That's the problem. That's the problem.
Which is like why would you even bring a Brazilian on just to change the player? You know, it's crazy.
It is.
Yeah.
It just is. But
It's
that's where
unfortunate.
we are. Money. So they're I used a version whereby it's like slavery. But I don't want to insult
Ooh,
my ancestors. You take these people from the place, deplete that place, and make this place better, make them work better for you. But you're depleting by constantly taking and taking and taking all the
yeah.
best ones to make your side better.
Yeah.
That's what
Yeah.
it literally
Yeah.
is, mate.
Colonizer settings.
No, yeah, yeah, you're right, bro. Someone does. It's like,
And you almost want to, you know, but at the same time, right? At the same time, we have to manage the way people use us, you know? And I feel the Brazilians has allowed the world to use their youth. It's you know to just you
I agree.
know take advantage of it. You know, so
Yep.
it's the Brazil as a country, as a people,
Mm.
have to look at themselves in the mirror and see what part they have played.
Yeah.
And it's of course money and you know money and all of that. Yes, money is always going to be a factor with these kind of
Yeah.
things. But you know
I
they have to
rem
look at
I remember when Neymar came out of Brazil. He was the biggest thing since Pele and Ronaldo,
yeah,
and he went to Barca. But Barca accommodated him because Messi was already there. I don't know if Suarez was already there. That's when they formed the MSN. But he was the final piece of the jigsaw puzzle.
Suarez was the final.
Final
Luis
piece.
Suarez was
So
the final.
so it
Yeah,
was Neymar, he was already there, and they did well. But it's like Barcelona played to his strengths, as in his
yeah,
silky skills, and oh, he was the picture boy for Brazil during that time. But he liked to party. He wasn't
yeah,
disciplined like Ronaldo. Ronaldinho was just like him. So he went the Ronaldinho way. I got the
yeah.
talent, I could party. But that thing catches up with you, bro. It catches
Does
up. Know how. And
does.
they pay the price, you know? When Ronaldinho, when he went to jail trying to get a fake passport, I said, you know what? To stoop that low, that's messed up, mate. That is so messed up. Well,
Who's the poster boy for Brazil right now? Is it Vinicius?
it's Vinicius. So that pressure is hard alone as it is. He's the poster boy for Brazil now. And where's he playing? Europe, Real Madrid.
Plays in Europe.
No, he's not playing in Brazil. So tell me where those young kids, what do they see? They don't see the heroes because those heroes have been removed to another country.
Yeah.
So either they're a Real Madrid fan or not. because
Yeah.
they don't play for Fluminense, Flamengo, Botafogo, or Sao Paulo. They don't play for any of those teams where they see them every week. I know TV is shown everywhere, but you got to pay for that stuff to get it streamed to where you are. It ain't free. And you know what I mean? It's like I said, Brazil, they need to take accountability for this talent drain that is becoming ridiculous. You know, they go take responsibility for it. You know.
Yeah.
Oh, any questions? Any questions? On our
Uh,
president?
shoot. Does Brazil? I can't think of anybody right now in Brazil that I would say maybe an up and coming prospect that could
Who
be
was
the
the guy?
face of the next
Vim.
World
Who was
Cup.
the guy? Is Vim still here? Or Vim gone?
No, Vim's gone.
Okay.
Vim, he
Vim.
texted
There
us
was
like
a
two
guy.
minutes ago.
His friend recommended that it's going to be the next thing, but they said he has to be kept in Brazil till at least 2023. Them
Uh,
European scouts have
that's
these
not gonna
people
happen.
in there from age 16 looking at
That's
these
not gonna
guys.
happen.
Ain't gonna
No,
happen.
no way.
Mm.
Not gonna happen. Can't keep him in there.
Nah. It's just
He's got to
like
look
I
out for
said.
his family. He's got to look out for. I mean, it's not. It's just not gonna happen.
Look,
It's tough.
look at Anthony. Anthony was
Oh.
earning 100, was earning 60,000 at Ajax.
See, yeah, see, Anthony's like one of those kind of like how is this person making this kind of money? Like Anthony would not have made it into any of those teams that you just put up.
Nope.
He
No
wouldn't
way.
have, but he's a
No
shoe in
effing
the
way.
Brazilian team, you know.
No way.
So it's just like the standards have dropped
It,
immensely,
immensely. And it is
you
what
know.
it is.
But
But
to
how you
do,
been anyway, brother?
I'm doing okay. I went to go see Aliens Romulus.
Oh, the new Alien movie?
That's a really good movie, bro.
It's really good. And my son's a good fan of aliens, so I'll probably take him this weekend to watch the
Yeah,
movie.
go watch that
Recommended?
movie. Yes, if you watch the franchise, the other
Yeah,
ones,
we've watched the franchise.
I would say
Alien
it's the
Predator,
best.
Alien, this Alien. Yeah, we've seen a lot.
I would say it is the third best one of all of them,
Okay.
behind one and two. This
Okay.
this is good. It's
All right.
good. It's a good, solid in and out. You know, it was very good. It was very good. It was very well done. Paid homage. Some of the scenes, of course, paid homage to Ripley, Sigourney Weaver's character. Really
Yes.
good. Really good.
Yes.
I like the
Yes,
way they
Sigourney
did it.
Weaver. She
Yeah.
played. Did she play? She played in two of them, right? Did she play
Two of
in
them.
two?
Shit. We should play like one, two, three, four. I would say at least four. At
Oh
least
wow.
four. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. She was definitely in three.
Okay. I'll tell. My son's. He's mentioned it. It's just a matter. So like I said, and you said it's a movie that you would recommend to go see.
I
So
would definitely recommend. Like I'm sending all the messages out right now, all the group chats. Go watch this movie at the movie theater. This isn't something you want to.
right.
Just wait till it comes out on Netflix or whatever. Nah, just go watch it in the
Go
movie
watch
theater.
it
Certain
now.
things you need to watch in the movie theater, man.
Yeah,
Certain
yeah,
things you
I
gotta watch.
agree. It's not everything you want to watch. You want to watch in your house. Sometimes you just want that
Yeah, keep
effect.
the yeah keep the
Effect.
comedies at home, whatever the comedies or the dramas at home. But
Mm.
definitely, this is a movie watching. You know,
At the cinema. Yeah, I'll take him there. Like I said, you
shit.
know,
Nights, day still, weekend is still. Well, it's not young, but you still got a few hours. You could probably get something because I don't think it's like and it's gonna be pretty kind of empty. Wasn't that many people there. We went to
right.
go watch it, so
I would. I'll still see if I can go still
that's
get
the
the ticket.
problem. Surprising, take him right now.
You
Take
got
care of
school
yourself.
tomorrow. You got school tomorrow. You ain't on
It's
vacation.
four. It's 4:12 in the afternoon. In the evening. Come
Oh
on,
yeah.
bro.
You know what, bro? It looks dark already. I thought it was about 5. Okay, yeah. You know what? He's
It's plenty
outside
of
playing with
time.
his friends. I'll ask him if he wants to go catch a movie. That'd be great.
Yeah, they should be like maybe like a 7:30, 8 o'clock that you could probably go catch.
Right, right. Okay, I'll take a look at that. So yeah, this was I mean, to me, I think this was the greatest player alive, the greatest footballer of all, Pele.
All right,
I think.
definitely.
I think Ronaldo and Messi, he can't be before them. I put him, Maradona,
Hmm.
as the number one and two. Number one
Yeah,
and two,
yeah.
without a doubt.
People are talking about fucking Messi and Ronaldo. Like, come on, let's just stop.
This
Stop.
guy
This is
played
football.
in
This
an
is
era.
football.
This guy played an era whereby there were no substitutes. If you got injured, you're down to 10 men. It was that bad.
Yeah.
And when they won the World Cup 58 and 62, they went to England to defend in 66. The only way to stop them was brutalizing, just kick them off the park, as in break their legs and injure them. That's the only way they were able to stop Brazil
Right,
back
and
then.
the game is so like set up for the Ronaldos and the Messis.
These
They
days.
wouldn't. I don't think they would have been as
No.
successful
Oh no.
because you can barely touch them now. These guys, they were balling back in the day
Oh yeah.
where they were literally getting assaulted on the pitch.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know,
And they got up and kept moving.
yeah,
They got up and
you
they
know,
kept it moving. They did not
the
like no not Neymar. Remember that World Cup that Neymar was doing the over rolling that it became a meme? Remember that one?
yeah. I mean, see, that's another thing about Brazilian. Like, they're not even known for football anymore. They're known for the fuckery. You know, it's always the fuckery. Ah, they'll get back, man. They'll get back. It's just, yo, am I wrong? Like, it's the fuckery. You
Mm-hmm.
know?
Well, on your,
Oh,
I'll send you that video clip. Watch it. Brazil,
okay.
Russia, 1982 World Cup, goal number two, Brazil, the winning goal by Eder. The way they worked that goal, it was phenomenal. It was just like, what the fuck? It was brilliant.
I'm watching it
Eder
right
was a
now.
left-footed left winger. Well, Italy knocked them out in that year in the group. You see, the way they started the World Cup, 82 World Cup, I was still a kid. I remember that World Cup. So England, Brazil were in a group of Scotland, they destroyed Scotland 4-1, beat New Zealand, I think 5 something.
Who
Then they
hasn't
played,
who hasn't beaten Scotland for?
anyway, keep it moving. Then they played Russia the last game, they beat Russia 2-1. So they got maximum points. Then the next group, so what they did was group of 4, then group of 3. The winner out of group of 3, like a triangle, goes through. It did not make any sense. Instead of just being a straight knockout. So they played Argentina. This was a young Maradona. This was his first World Cup.
Yeah,
It was war. They beat Argentina. Italy beat Argentina. So it was now between Italy and Brazil, who was going to go to the quarterfinals. All Brazil needed was a draw based on the goals they had scored. They needed a draw.
yeah,
Italy needed a win straight out. Brazil favorites, absolute favorites. There was no shadow of a doubt. This team went on a 28 European trip, as in preparation for 82 World Cup, and they beat every single European nation they played on the way to that World Cup. Beat including England, Poland. They beat everybody, as in like the preseason. They beat everyone. So they were known they must win that World Cup. That's why they call them the best team to not win the World Cup, the 1982 team. It was just sad. Zico, Socrates, they had Italy. I remember that game like it was yesterday. Against Italy, all they needed was a draw. Italy were just hoping a miracle happens. Italy set up for counterattack. Just sit back, soak up the pressure. If we get an opportunity, we'll try and score. They had a
yeah,
striker called Paulo Rossi, who was returning from a bribe scandal ban. His
yeah.
ban expired a week before the game, so he was eligible to play against Brazil. Man, this guy got a hat trick against Brazil. It's a guy who had not played in 2 years football. He scored a hat trick against Brazil. Brazil lost that game 3-2. At 2-2, Brazil should have leveled the game out, but Brazil don't do draws. We do wins. Italy had one corner kick in 90 minutes, one corner kick. It shows how much time they had on the ball. That one
Yeah.
corner kick gave them the winning goal. Brazil were out. The world could not believe it. The world was in shock that Brazil were out. With Zico, they had that team was so complete. I'm talking talent, talent. That's the team right there. This team. Junior, Socrates, Zico, they were too much. They were just phenomenal. They all played in Brazil. None of them played in Europe. Everybody was at home. But Italy, mate, the weakest link in this team was the goalkeeper. He was the weakest link. He was so bad. He was really bad. He made Onana look good. He was bad. He was, but
Man,
Brazil. He was that Brazil mindset was you score two, we can score three. That was their mindset.